And go.
Hello, and thank you for coming to my speech. Now, more than ever before, the internet age has allowed an inundation of digital data, entertainment, and social media that allow for a new, unique revenue source. Individuals and corporations can market themselves and their products in locations and manners that have never been seen before. The colleges of this country are no different. They're run like businesses. And this modern marketing is more visible in collegiate athletics than ever before. In 2017, the NCAA, which is the ruling authority on American collegiate sports, raked in over $1 billion in revenue off their namesakes. Take a look at this video released by the ACC, one of the main and many collegiate conferences that play under the wider umbrella of the NCAA.
That is called a recovery.
You can clearly see the money and the marketing behind these videos. But these student athletes are not getting paid. And it begs the question, is it okay for these schools to make millions off these kids without paying them anything in return? Now, the glaringly obvious reason for why these athletes should get paid is that everyone else above them in the chain of command is getting paid, and they're getting paid well. In 2014, a Wharton Business College study found that Penn State's Beaver Stadium brought in an estimated $70 million in revenue to the state of Pennsylvania. Another study conducted at the end of the 2019 football season found that Nick Saban, coach of the University of Alabama's football team, made just under $9 million this year alone. In fact, the same study found that the top 20 paid college football coaches in the country are all making over $4 million a year. These salaries continue to rise, but the salary of college athletes has stayed extremely consistent at a whopping $0 per year, every year. Though the numbers are smaller in college basketball, the top 10 highest paid basketball coaches are still making over $3 million a year, while their players are still making the same $0 per year. Another major reason these athletes should be paid is that they literally have no time to earn income outside of their sport. According to a 2011 study by the NCAA, students at top programs can average 30 and even 40 hours a week at work, which is their practice. That's equivalent to a full-time job. Add on top of this their time spent going to class and studying, traveling for games. Where are these students supposed to find the time to work? Some people, like Penn State student Joe Beckman, argue that the scholarships these students get are more than enough to compensate for their playing time. These are scholarships that cover their tuitions, their rooming, their food, and other expenses. Still, this alone covers the student's bare minimum and leaves the athletes no spending money for themselves and no time to make any money for themselves. Only 1.6 of all these college athletes will go on to play professionally. So why should these kids live with the bare minimum necessities while their coaches get paid millions of dollars? Their presidents and the deans of their school as well get paid millions of dollars. Schools make millions off selling these players' jerseys, and the athletes see none of that revenue. Ticket sales, championships, TV deals, you name it. these schools bring in enough to where not paying these kids is getting more and more difficult to defend. The third reason, and perhaps the most relevant reason going forward, is the effect that playing has on these athletes' bodies. Simply put, the rewards for these athletes might not be worth the risk of playing. A Liberty University study found that athletes were at higher risks of developing depression. Female athletes were almost twice as likely as male athletes to develop depression, thought to be because of differing hormone and chemical balances in women that are not as prevalent in the males. Male and female athletes both suffer from worse quality of sleep due to the body not being able to relax or frequently sleeping at hotels away from home. That's just the beginning. A Northeastern University study found that student athletes are at higher risks of mental and muscular exhaustion and fatigue, digestive problems, and other performance-related burdens. This data only accounts for generalizations across all athletes and their genders. A USC study conducted on former athletes found that 96% of them over the age of 43 sought some form of physical therapy to alleviate their joint and muscular pains from their playing days. This is 14% higher than the average non-student athlete of the same age. These issues are compounded when looking into specific sports, such as the knee and leg problems that a basketball player faces, or the ever-present risk of CTE in college football players and professionals. These issues, on top of an ever-present need to perform, just creates a toxic environment that is only further damaging the bodies and minds of these young college athletes. Now, I'm not arguing for these students to be signing million-dollar contracts to play college ball. I understand that these students are getting benefits through scholarships and meal plans. But is it enough? Are these athletes getting anything even close to a fair share of the revenue that they bring in? I'll leave you with this. Through scholarship, tuition, meal plans, boarding, every expense you can think of, students received an average of $23,204 in 2018. These same students in football and basketball bring in an average of $137,000 and $289,000 for their sports, respectively. Over a 4-year career, a college basketball player is estimated to lose out on over $1 million. Going forward, changes will have to be made to the college sports model, as arguments over pay for athletes has increased. Is it really all that bad to let these kids make money off shoe deals, which they currently are not allowed to sign as college players? Would it be the end of the world if these athletes received some compensation from autographs and jersey sales? Most importantly, is it right for schools to be ruthlessly allowed to continue exploiting these students? The resounding answer is no.